Hello, Dave here on this lovely and hot July 4th in southeast Texas. Today I thought I'd show you how I make my bacon wrapped stuffed grilled shrimp. We're blessed living here on the Gulf Coast. We have fresh seafood. They come by our place of business selling us shrimp straight off the boat, so I bought some this week. Thought I'd grill this for my friends and family this weekend. Now the best thing is to use large shrimp. You can go to the store, you can buy the small, medium shrimp, but it takes a long time to shell them. Long time to wrap them because they're small and there's more of them. Also, even with these being large, it still takes time. So if you got friends or family over, you can always ask them to help you. And if you get a little assembly line going, it goes a whole lot faster. So this is probably the most time-consuming part of the process, peeling the shrimp. I'm sure there's better ways to do it. I'm a transplant from Dallas. I like to leave the tail on. It gives it a little handle when you're done grilling. And actually, I wasn't paying attention. You throw the shells over here. And the finished shrimp right in here. So, just bear with me. This is going to take a while, and then we'll move on to the next step. And we're done peeling the shrimp. So, most of the time, when you peel shrimp, what do you do with the skins, the shell? Most people just throw it away, but we're going to do something different today. Let's see what we have back here. Why, we got a stock pot with stock starting in it. Now this is nothing more than water with a medium onion. My carrots are small, so I did 2 carrots, cut them into 3-inch long pieces, a stalk of celery. I had some green onion tops and a couple other things laying around, including a couple of garlic cloves I wasn't going to use. You throw it all in here, put it at a low simmer, and just let it simmer for a few hours. Then when you're done with your shrimp, you just pour your shrimp heads in there, and your shrimp shells and all that. If you use whole shrimp, save the heads and add it because it makes a really good stock. Then you put it back on the stove after a quick stir. And with seafood stock, you don't let it simmer more than about 20 minutes and you're done. Then you just drain it. You got beautiful, rich, flavorful shrimp stock to use in a gumbo, a bisque, or whatever else you want to use it for. So let me get this back on the stove and turn it up a bit. So our next step, let me get rid of these, is to butterfly the shrimp. Now, when I go to restaurants, a lot of times they butterfly from the back, and I guess they do that to get the vein out, but the way the shrimp curves and it curls up when cooking, I like to go from the front. I like to use this little cheap, somewhat dull serrated steak knife because I can feel it go in, stop, you can get right down to the vein, or in this case the fat, pull that out, and you've got a nicely butterflied shrimp. Plus, if you get too aggressive, it's not going to cut through and cut your fingers if you're holding it in your hand while you do this. But get in there, get that vein out, throw that in the trash can down there, probably stick to your hand a little. And you can tell most of the shrimp are large. There's a couple of small ones in here like this one. There's one tiny one that I'm not even going to wrap. I'm just going to throw it on the grill with everything though. So this is probably the second most time consuming part. So just bear with me and we'll be done with it in just a moment. Okay, so all the shrimp is butterflied. I rinsed it with cold water and drained several times. Just make sure they're clean and set them in the fridge for a bit while I took a break. Now it's time to make the stuffing for the shrimp. And I use 1 jalapeno, which I take and basically fine chop or dice, whatever you want to call it. You can scrape some of this out if you don't want it that hot. I'm not going to get all of it out, maybe a few seeds. Cut it into some strips, and you just come back. Now I'm going to chop it more than that, get it finer, but this is just the initial coarse chop. And no, I'm not a professional chef. I'm probably not using my hands and fingers correctly. But that's okay, just as long as I don't cut myself. The key to anything like this is having a very sharp knife. I like to use that sort of dull steak knife for the shrimp because I have better control. I can feel it go through the shrimp and stop without going all the way through. This, I'm using a good sharp knife. Put that to the side. So with 1 jalapeno, I peeled some garlic earlier. So I'll take one, maybe this little small clove can come out too. Oh, one regular clove, one small clove. Yeah, I'll do the same. I'll kind of go through and slice it like this, and I'll come back. Get it all off, kind of keep mincing until it's fine minced, just like I did with the pepper. That doesn't have to be exact, just do it until you think it's fine enough. Like that one didn't slice as easily. That's okay, we'll chop. And if you have one of those little vegetable choppers, that you smack with your hand or whatever, that's fine too. It actually makes it pretty easy and quick, although sometimes they're hard to clean, and a lot of it sticks to the inside, and you still have to scrape out the inside to get it all. That actually looks pretty good right there. I think that's good enough. So, let me get another mixing bowl here. So the way we're going to throw this together is I got some pre-shredded Colby-Jack cheese from the local store. Take a handful of that, about like this, throw it in there. Set that in the veggies. I'll scrape the pepper and garlic in here. And scrape all that goodness off the knife. And then just mix. And kind of get it in there. Now this store-bought shredded cheese usually has some anti-caking stuff on it, so once it's kind of even, I start squeezing it together, and I'll make a kind of a solid mass out of it, like this. Doesn't have to be completely solid, but just so it's easier to grab a piece of it without it falling apart everywhere. And I just do this one handful of cheese at a time. If I got enough shrimp, sometimes I have to cut more pepper and more garlic and just keep going on. Set that over there. So the next thing is bacon. Our Texas grocery store, H-E-B, makes a wonderful jalapeno bacon. They used to make a chipotle bacon, which is over the top of this recipe, but they discontinued it. So I'm going to take some bacon out. And unlike restaurants where they'll wrap it in an entire piece of bacon, I'm going for balance, not an overwhelming bacon influence, although I don't think science has ever proved that you can have too much bacon. So I'm going to take that, slice it approximately into thirds. So yes, we will be using toothpicks to hold all this together. So then take a butterfly shrimp. It's in the biggest one, but take a pinch of the cheese mixture, kind of pack it in there. I might have to pack this a little tighter, it's a little loose. Take a piece of bacon. That's two. Let me get this one. And the bacon is going to go right over the stuffing, wrap around, and then gets all together with a toothpick. Let's do that again. A little pinch of stuffing. That's too much. It's okay, whatever scraps I'll pick up and use in the next one. Doesn't necessarily take much. Another strip of bacon. Get it to peel. Yeah. I think that actually is just a thick piece of bacon. I don't think it's two. And actually, I'm going to get this wide piece because that's a wider deal. And then again, around it goes, and we hold with a toothpick. So this is the other part of the job. This doesn't take as long as some of the other parts, but all of this, if you're by yourself, does take a little while, but it is well worth it. Anytime I make this, there are never leftovers. Even if there's only 2 people, there are never leftovers. So I encourage you to make this at home, and we'll take a break while I finish wrapping these. Okay, so all the shrimp is stuffed and wrapped. At this point, you're saying to yourself, he's going to go out and grill them. But we're not going to do that. The restaurant will wrap them and grill them. We're going to marinate these. This is going to put them over the top and make them oh so good. So, simple marinade. Alright, this water shrimp, so probably half to most of a bottle of tiger sauce. little oil. Juice of half a lime. Or more if you prefer. Shot of good rum. Or tequila or whiskey would work fine. So that's about a shot there. Shot for that. Shot for me. There now. That's the stuff. And some dillweed. This is something I was trying to find the missing part of this recipe. Realized a lot of jerk recipes use dillweed. And this turned out quite amazing when I added the dillweed. So, we mix. All that together. I'll throw the shrimp in here. I prefer to store it, refrigerate in plastic than in steel. I pour this over the top. Let that trickle on down. Get all that goodness. We're going to stick it in the fridge for about an hour and then we'll grill. Okay, so we got the grill at about 350. I threw some applewood and hickory on, and I'm using lump oak charcoal. Applewood and hickory. Why the hell not? It tastes really good. Gonna do 2 relays. I got the shrimp out on the grill topper. That's enough I have to do 2. Grill toppers are about $1 at the grocery store. Designed for one use and throw away, but you can clean them off and reuse them. So, let's close the lid. Come back and check them in a minute. Okay, so now we're about halfway through the cook. We're going to turn them over. And some cheese drips out, but believe me, enough stays. It tastes good. This little fine mesh grill topper helps keep some of the cheese in place. There's one that didn't get any bacon or cheese. Had a few extra shrimp. Not enough bacon or cheese. Wasn't worth going to the store to get more. Now when we come back, these should be done. Okay, these are about done. Trust me, the bacon's done. Everything's cooked and somewhat smoked. It's time to get this one off. That'll stick a little. Slide it up onto this cookie sheet. And then the next one goes on. Feels good and hot. Hickory and applewood and oak. It's going to be good. So here's the finished product, fresh off the grill, good and hot. Got a nice bit of cheese still in there, so don't forget to pull the toothpick out and eat. Those are so good. You have company come over, great appetizer. Spend the day grilling, make these just to munch on while you're grilling the main course. It'll be a hit, I promise you. Have a good day and have a happy 4th.